Third time trial here. You got to push record, Mrs. Honeychecker. It doesn't work. All right. We're going to continue reading on How to Steal a Dog, Chapter 7, Chapter 8. I'm hiding out in another room, not the PTO room, so see if you can figure it out. And remember what's happening in the book. Georgina and Toby are not very excited. They have a house, but it's not a house you or I would want to live in, I don't think. Matter of fact, I think they're missing living in the car. Let's see what happens. Chapter 7. I studied myself in the mirror of the bathroom at McDonald's. My hair hung in greasy clumps on my forehead. Creases from the crumpled up clothes I had slept on were still etched inside of my face. I rubbed my hands together under the water, ran my wet fingers through my hair. Then I used paper towels to scrub my face and arms. The rough brown paper left my skin red and scratched. We'd spent the weekend in that old house, and I was beginning to think I'd rather sleep in the car again. Mama had gotten some stuff at a yard sale to try to make things better. We had a plastic raft for us to take turns sleeping on. We had a radio that ran on batteries, an alarm clock, stuff like that. You know, she even got a great big artificial plant with red and purple flowers. She'd wipe the dust off the leaves in her shirt with her shirt tail and set it up on top of the wood stove. You know, I guess she thought that plant would make me glad to be there. It didn't. If things didn't change soon, I was going to have to go back to my dog stealing plans. That's all there was to it. The bathroom door opened and Mama stuck her head inside. "We gotta go, Georgina," she said. "I can't be late for work again." I followed her out to the car. I couldn't help but notice how her blue jeans hung all baggy, dragging on the asphalt parking lot as she walked. You know, I guess she was getting skinnier. She had on her green handy panty t-shirt. Her long fingers clutched a cup of coffee that sent trails of steam into the early morning air. "I'll drop y'all off at the corner," she said, climbing in the car. "Then you go on up on yonder to the bus stop, okay?" "Okay." So I got in the back seat beside Toby and propped my feet on my top of my bag of stuff. Mom had told us not to leave our things in that nasty old house, just in case. When I'd asked, "Just in case what?" she flapped her hand at me and told me to stop asking so many questions. "After school," she said, "you and Toby wait in the car while I work at the cleaners. Then we'll go on back to the house after that, okay?" I stuffed my notebook into my backpack. Today was the day we were supposed to bring in our science projects. I didn't have mine, but I didn't even care. I'd tell Mr. White my project got lost, stolen, or something. "Okay, Georgina," Mama said, craning her neck to look at me in the rearview window. "I guess." I stared out the window. "What's the matter?" I shrugged nothing. "Oh, come on. Tell me, Georgina," she said. "What's the matter?" I felt a wave of mad sweeping over me. "Everything," I hollered. "Okay, everything's the matter." Uh-oh, I kept my head toward the window, but I could feel her eyes on me. "Oh, give me a break, okay?" she yelled into the mirror. You're making this harder on everybody, Miss Glum and angry. What would you like me to do? Rob a bank?" Toby giggled. I shot him a look that wiped that grin right off his face. "You know, maybe you could act like a mother," I said. Mama slammed on the brakes, whipped around to glare at me. "Just what is that supposed to mean?" she said. "You know, mothers are supposed to take care of their kids," I said, "not let them sleep in creepy old houses and wash them up in the bathroom at McDonald's." Mama pressed her lips together. I could tell she was thinking hard about what to say, but then she just sighed and turned back around. We rode in silence the rest of the way. When we got to the corner near the bus stop, I got out and slammed the door hard. "Look after Toby, okay, Georgina?" Mama called after me. "Yeah," I said, "whatever." "Was he mad?" Luann asked me. Oh, time passed. Remember, we got a little space there, so some time's passed. "Was he mad?" Luann asked me as we headed toward the bus. "Nah." "What'd he say?" "Nothing." "Nothing?" "Well, I mean, nothing much." I didn't look at Luann because I knew she would know I was lying. Mr. White had said plenty. He'd said how he couldn't understand my bad attitude lately, and he was so disappointed in my lack of effort. And then he had to go and ask me if everything was all right at home. I'd kept my eyes on the styrofoam planets that were dangling from a coat hanger behind him. Somebody's stupid old science project. "Yes, sir," I said. "Everything's fine." Then he had given me another envelope with Mr. and Mrs. Hayes written on it. Would I be sure and have my parents call him, he'd said. If he didn't hear from them, he was going to have to talk to the principal about the problem. Did I understand? "Yes, sir," I told him. What I didn't tell him was that my daddy was long gone. My mama couldn't even get us a place to live. My things had gotten thrown out with the garbage. I didn't tell him my best friend didn't even like me anymore, and now she had a new friend, and all I said to him was, "Yes, sir." So I stuffed that envelope way down inside my backpack and left as quick as I could. On the bus, Luann and I took our regular seats, and then Liza Thomas got on and stopped beside us. "Hey, you going to Girl Scouts today?" she asked Luann. Oh, yeah, she had on her red t-shirt with sparkly gold glitter saying, "Cool chick." "Huh. Yeah, are you?" Luann said. "Yeah." Liza flicked her ponytail behind her shoulder. I'll see you there, okay? Okay. Boy, I could feel my jealousy churning around inside me. Girl Scouts. Ugh. I could just see Luann and Liza there, side by side, working on their outdoor cooking badge or maybe planning a visit to the nursing home. I had to drop out of Girl Scouts so I could take care of Toby after school. Besides, I couldn't pay the dues to go on a trip to Six Flags or anything like that. When we got off the bus, Liza waved us at us out the window. Luann waved back. I didn't. Toby trotted along behind me. Want to come over to my house before Girl Scouts? Luann said. You know, I wanted to say yes more than anything because I wanted to go over to the Godfreys and lie on Luann's soft pink carpet, eating graham crackers, working on one of my Girl Scout badges. I can't, I said, and that was all. Me and Toby went on down the hill to where Mama was waiting for us in the car. I hated looking at that beat-up car with bags of stuff all piled up in the seats, and then there was black smoke that puffed out the tailpipe, and the engine made a rattly sound. Hey, y'all, Mama called through the window. Look what I got. She waved a giant bag of M&Ms at us. Hot dang, Toby hollered, racing to the car. I yanked the door open, tossed my backpack inside, climbed in. Toby was already ripping the candy bag open. I don't want any, I said. Then I took my social studies book out of my backpack and pretended to read chapter 21 like I was supposed to. So Mama turned around the front seat. Georgina, she said, please stop making this worse than it already is. I'm not. Yes, you are. She got up on her knees and leaned over the seat to put her face down close to mine. It won't be much longer now, I promise, she said. How much longer? Mama sighed. A few more days, maybe. A few more days? She might as well have said forever. Now I felt the tears running down my face and then Mama's warm hand on my cheek. I'm sorry, sweetheart, she said. I swear every night I pray for a miracle, but I reckon nobody's listening. What kind of miracle? I said. My voice sounded small and pitiful. I don't know, she said. Anything. Money, mostly. I nodded. Okay, that does it, I said to myself. I was going to have to steal that dog after all. I had to. It was the only way we were going to get ourselves out of this mess and live like normal people again. So when Mama parked the car, kissed us goodbye, I pulled out my purple notebook and read through all my dog stealing notes. I put a little check mark beside the things I'd already done. When I got to the part about finding a place to hide the dog, I thumped my pencil against my knee and thought real hard. Where in the world could I hide a dog? In the woods somewhere, maybe? Or over behind the Elks Lodge? Maybe in that old chicken coop out there by Hiram Foley's place? I closed my notebook, stared out the window at the folks sitting in front of the Dairy Queen across the street. You know, stealing a dog, it seemed so easy when I'd first thought of it. Now it seemed like the hardest thing I'd ever done. Georgina? Toby's voice interrupted my thoughts. What? Are we going to steal that dog? He said. Yes, I said we are. When? Soon. And I pushed my notebook down under the clothes in my trash bag. Again, some time has passed. So that night it was my turn to sleep on the plastic raft. Strips of moonlight poured through the cracks in the plywood that covered the windows and danced across the dusty wooden floor. I tried to make myself stop thinking so I could go to sleep, but my mind just wouldn't turn off. I went through my plan over and over, imagining myself with that little dog, Willie, picturing myself running with him in my arms, seeing myself hiding him someplace, but where? So I threw the beach towel off of me, tiptoed over to the corner of the room where my stuff was. I took out my notebook, sat down in a beam of moonlight so I could see. I turned to step 3 of How to Steal a Dog. I wrote April 12th. Then under the part that said 3, figure out where you are going to hide the dog, I wrote A. The place where you hide the dog has to be close enough so you can visit him. B, the place has to be somewhere that nobody goes to or else they will see the dog. And then maybe turn him loose or call the dog pound or something. C, I need to try to find a place that's a nice place for a dog to be. And D, try to find a place that has a roof, because what if it rains? You know, I tried to think of some more stuff, but I guess I was too tired. My mind was finally starting to slow down and stop thinking. So I wrote, well, now you are almost ready to steal a dog. And I put my notebook away. I tiptoed back over to my raft bed. I pulled the beach towel up under my chin. I closed my eyes and slept a deep, dreamless sleep like I used to when I had a bed. But I bet if I'd known what was going to happen the next day, I would have never slept that good. I was going to read chapter 8, but I'm only going to read 7 today so we can talk about it. See you soon.